Mike here, October 8th, 2024. Before I go to round two, I'm going to just highlight and summarize the last two videos, because this is part 3. Now, in the other part, what I had indicated was it took 10 to 11 visits before I finally got a lab between October 2012 and October 2013. I had indicated something in 10 to 11 visits. Well, I checked my forensic paperwork here where I have everything laid out, and it was a total of 18 visits in 1 year before I was actually had a lab performed and received proper treatment. 12 visits in the state of Connecticut with various caregivers, and all, not one lab. And it's clear, wasn't clear at the time years ago, but once you identify that there was a dual parallel narrative, that there is parallel construction of evidence, okay, and then once I identified, or not identified, someone finally spilled the beans on the Part D forensic assertive community treatment in Connecticut that began October 29th, I believe, 2012. Okay? Finding out these things and then realizing that there's a state statute, there's a team, a comprehensive team that's defined by state statute. You can look it up, what it composes of, who the different parts are. I mean, of course, it includes a behavioral analyst, and it includes a coordinator, and both of you, one was, well, I guess constantly evaluating me to the wrong, based on the wrong treatment plan. And based on, well, a lot of evidence being created for an evidence-based program. And then we have a coordinator coordinating my treatment plan to keep me, bam, right on with the original assessment, the original treatment plan that was filed with a probate court, okay, in secret, without my knowledge, okay, no due process, no attorney, provided or allowed to bring an attorney, and no opportunity to defend myself. You people wrote the narrative. It's your story. It's your evidence, and that's all that exists. So what we see in the records is took 18 visits for Mike to get properly treated, and for the illness to be diagnosed. And it was 2 forms of candida. One was somewhat rare, Candida dublinosus. Okay? And so that created a big problem for him, because it, in a way, it nullified everything they did for now 18 visits. So what happens? I already didn't want to see the infectious diseases doctor, because he wanted to send me to a psychiatrist, and 2 weeks later I was sick and almost in the hospital. So, after 18 visits, so we have the nurse that I originally saw in August of 2013, who in the records indicated that whatever medical problem I had, it was resolved back in Connecticut, of course. And, well, I did not understand at the time, because she was really probably the intensive care manager, okay, or the medical case management manager for my case. I wasn't told either. Well, anyways, I'm trusting these people. She sends me over to an ENT. Now, why the ENT? The goal was to whitewash out the lab that created a lot of problems for them with continuing their treatment of me, which can only be defined as medical torture, okay, via punitive psychiatry. I mean, that's the only conclusion that you can reach from how I've been treated. So anyways, the ENT, as we know, tried to send me to a periodontist. when in fact he knew of the lab that actually identified my problem and that I've been being treated for it. I had a whole course of different antifungals, and so now I get the diagnosis, I guess, or assessment or whatever, of burning mouth syndrome, which replaced the lab, and everybody, the lab goes under the rug. Nobody, it's now been, I guess you could say, whitewashed out. Now Mike has burning mouth syndrome. No, the lab, oh, now he's all set with that thing anyways. Oh, so now I go over to the new infectious disease doctor, January of 2014, because I wasn't going back to the last one who sent me to send me to a psychiatrist when I kept telling him I've been sick for like months. So this one, of course, he covers himself because they like to make it appear in the records they're meeting a standard of care, okay? He gave me another little course of the antifungals for the Candida duplicis. It was an appointment to establish care. So, that appointment, that's how it went. Now I come back the second appointment. Now they're working to make the final cut from Jordan Valley, who had the two labs, where the lab had come back positive and identified, and it nullified 18 visits, and in my opinion, nullified the ENT as well. Okay, so what happens? They want to cut that tie, and they want to separate the nurse practitioner. It's so nice to me, that visit, so sweet. Oh, would you like us to be your primary care too? Oh, we can be your primary. These are the most manipulated people that you've ever met. They're all trained to do this. And of course, I was trusting back then, and I was thinking, well, maybe things would work out better here because, the infectious disease and primary care, we can get maybe things will go better. So I said, oh, okay. Big mistake. They wanted to, sanitize those two records and get Jordan Valley out of the way and the whole thing. So now March comes along, and now round 2, the beginning. Now they want to change my HIV medications, right? So how do they do it? By trying to manipulate and frighten the patient. So what did they say to me? Oh my, you have recent and severe changes to kidney function. I'm like, oh my God, my kidneys are a problem now? I go, what else? I go, my God, I'm thinking, and I'm thinking to myself, I go, this is like too much. I'm thinking, nobody had a problem until now. Now all of a sudden, out of the clear blue, sometime later, that would be January of 2017, I literally took all the lab and from the records, all the lab results, going back to Connecticut, the same records that the provider had, and created tables for, various the kidney lab results, and they blatantly proved that what they were indicating was a manipulative lie, straight out. And when I gave that to the executive director of APO, she kind of like, yeah, okay. So it's provable. I'm not just sitting here saying it was wrong. It is provable, right? So I'm going to change your meds, and they had already, without my consent, sent my blood work for a genetic marker test, okay? Because if it comes back negative, it's supposedly made the medication they want on to give me to be really, totally safe. But if you really dig in more, and I don't mean the original search that you get when you try to look up the medication and you get, oh, it's totally safe. The reality is it's not, okay? And that people can still have things that occur. So that is round 2. Basically, it leads us right into what ended up being a battle over medication change. And of course, I'm being non-compliant because I won't do what they're saying. You see, with this system, if you don't want to do what they say, you're non-compliant. If you actually fight back, you're aggressive. I can't tell you. Boy, this is a topic for another video, though. Oh, they want to present me as being aggressive, agitated. So you're in a position where if you defend yourself and you do so with your voice a little raised and you're really adamant about what you're, oh my God, you're being aggressive. Oh, you're having a psychotic event. They pulled that one a couple times. The problem is the event that had occurred was so outrageous that I wrote letters, complaint letters. And when you read them, you go, this person's lucid. This person's completely put together. This person is actually, based on these letters around the time you're claiming he's in response to the supposed, psychotic event. He wasn't psychotic based on the letters he was sending you, like immediately after, and then complaining to the facility, calling the facility head, writing a complaint over to the who I thought was, there to help you, the medical case manager, right? I thought medical case manager, right? She's trying to help me with medical things, right? No. It was intensive psychiatric care management at the end of the day, okay? So what happens? I pick up the new medication, April, and I'm like, it's in a box. It's got 35 pages. It's really dangerous. And I was going to be going on a trip, and I was like, there's no way I'm taking this ever, let alone now. So I went on my trip, came back, had the appointment, and we had a battle. I mean, where she's getting in my face, okay? And it's like, because I did not comply and take the medication. It didn't matter that I picked it up. It didn't matter that I read everything. It didn't matter that I looked at it and said, there's no way I'm taking this, and I'm going to go back in there and ask for a different medication because there's no way I'm taking this one. So that was round 2. And what it demonstrated, I mean, how deceiving and manipulative, how they like to try to create fear and confusion in the patient. This is all part of the treatment, you see. This is psychiatric treatment, okay? This is why we need to have a discussion about behavioral medicine, because all of the tactics, all of the things that I've witnessed and experienced, battle after battle after battle after battle after battle with these people, highlights how dangerous, how evil this system is, and that